Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will show you how I was able to actually get KYC approved on a handful of crypto trading exchanges that had made the move to mandatory KYC, thus basically prohibiting me from using their platform for trading futures contracts on, say, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, until at least I was able to pass their KYC requirements. Now, before we get too far into the weeds, some of you might be wondering, what is KYC? Well, KYC is just an acronym for Know Your Customer, which is a set of guidelines outlined by the United States Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, also known as FinCEN, and is really just a process of a financial institution identifying a potential customer's identity. And of course, the US government is always claiming to try to protect its citizens, and thus KYC aims to protect customers from identity theft and fraud, as well as protect financial institutions by preventing money laundering and terrorist funding. Now, anytime the government claims they want to protect you, more than likely they want to control you. And actually, I think President Reagan said it best.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Also, I think it's important to note that regulations like KYC that are designed to protect you actually put a lot more customers at risk when they were no longer able to use top-tier exchanges like Bybit or KuCoin, and were actually forced to seek out lesser-known exchanges in order to continue to trade cryptocurrencies. But it did actually lead to some innovation with the creation of a decentralized exchange, or a DEX, like Apex Pro. And I have actually been trading over here on Apex Pro for a little while now with some success. I will drop a link in the description down below if you prefer to go more of a decentralized exchange route where you won't actually have to KYC, versus the centralized exchanges like Bybit and KuCoin, Binance, where you will have to complete their KYC process in order to use their platforms. So, now that you have a very basic understanding of KYC, now we can take a deeper dive into how I was actually able to get KYC approved on a handful of crypto exchanges like Bybit, KuCoin, BitGet. But before we do, I want to make it crystal clear, this video is for informational purposes only, or educational purposes only. It is not intended as legal advice. At the end of the day, you need to do your own recon and make your own decisions based on your own recon. Alright, enough of the disclaimer BS, let's get into the actual weeds. If we jump over here to my Bybit account, you can see I do have the verified ID check mark, and if I give that a click, you can see under identity verification, I have passed their level 1, which does allow me to execute futures trades on, for example, BTC USDT perpetual contracts. I was able to capture 10% profit on this particular trade just the other day. Now, another exchange I was able to get KYC approved on would be KuCoin. You can see under identity verification, I am verified. If I click on this identity verification tab, you can see I now have full access to all of KuCoin features and are in the highest tier for transaction limits. So I have passed their KYC as well. Also, another platform that went to mandatory KYC that I was able to get approved on would be BitGet. Now, I don't use BitGet nearly as much as I do Bybit, would be my main one. KuCoin more for their infinity grid bots, but BitGet is still a pretty good alternative for crypto trading. If we jump over here to, you can see number 1 is Binance. I will tell you, I was not able to get KYC approval on Binance. Number 2 you see is Bybit, and number 3 is BitGet. So I went ahead and did get KYC approval over on BitGet. You can see I've been verified, and I've blurred out a little bit of personal information, but the country or region that I got approved through was Palau. And you might be wondering, what the heck is Palau? Well, Palau is a small group of islands, and it's actually the Republic of Palau. And through the Republic of Palau, I was able to apply for and was issued a digital residency identification card, which I then was able to use on those exchanges to get KYC approval. Now, again, I did not get approved through Binance. They do not accept this ID as far as I can tell, but I did get approved on Bybit, KuCoin, BitGet, BingX, OKX also did not accept my ID for approval. So it's not good everywhere, but there are a handful of exchanges that are accepting this form of ID. And again, as always, before you click apply now for $248 for one of these IDs, you need to do your own recon. And so your next question should be, what is a Palau ID? The Palau ID is simply a government-issued identification card that can be used for any purpose that requires legal proof of identity. And thus, the Palau ID is a form of supported identification for KYC on a variety of crypto exchanges. But again, I'm only providing you this as intel, not as legal advice. At the end of the day, you need to do your own recon. Now, for those of you who do your recon and decide to move forward with a Palau ID or digital residency, I will drop a link in the description down below. So I think that's enough jaw-jacking for this video. I just wanted to share some intel with you all on how I was able to get KYC approved over on Bybit, KuCoin, and BitGet by applying for digital residency in the Republic of Palau, and thus getting issued their Palau ID, and then using that ID to pass KYC over on these crypto exchanges. So if you found this video informational, perhaps you could click that like. You might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you have any questions or comments, sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.